And on the third anniversary of the Galwan Valley clash, senior military officers of the Northern Command will hold operational discussions in Leh. Sources from the Indian Army say that the meeting will discuss the preparedness of the forces in this sector bordering China. That's the piece of breaking news that's coming in on the third anniversary of the Galwan Valley clash. Stock taking by top military officials when it comes to tackling the dragon across the line of actual control. I'm joined by my colleague Ishan Wani, who's getting us this piece of breaking news. Ishan, give us the details.
Well, yes, it's an all-important meeting which is going to take place tomorrow, particularly because tomorrow marks the third anniversary of Galwan clash, which took place in 2020. And that is the day when the Northern Army commander, along with other senior officials of the Indian Army, will gather in Ladakh and will hold operational discussion in Leh tomorrow. This could be also seen in messaging that how India is prepared and how India has been preparing, that in case of any eventuality, they are ready. And this meeting will be discussing about the preparedness of the forces in the sectors which are bordering China. And that is most important because tomorrow is the day when Galwan clash took place. And since then, India has hardened its position and stand, on the borders and also with the China, and very clearly kept its stance up that they won't let an inch go. And that is why we have seen that a lot of forces have been pushed into those areas where it's neck to neck with China. And after the Galwan clash, as Jay Shankar also pointed out several times, that the situation with the China is not normal. We have seen several rounds of talks happening between India and the PLA at the commander level. Yes, certain inroads have been made between the two countries. But yes, there are certain positions from where there are further discussions is needed. But yes, important tomorrow that the day has been chosen to hold these, this particular important meeting with the top and senior officials who are responsible for the line of actual control with China towards Ladakh. They will be meeting tomorrow and discussing the operational discussions, and they will be discussing the preparedness that is of forces on the ground who are operational in Kashmir, in China with Ladakh. At the same time, it's important to mention also that there was a lot of forces who are on the ground. Right. Machinery has been also pushed in since then towards the parts of LAC where the clash took place, and other places as well, where India is importantly and firmly holding its ground.
Right. I'm also joined by Akash Sharma on the phone line, who tracks the Ministry of Defence. Akash, what more are you getting from your sources when it comes to this high-level meeting scheduled for tomorrow?
So, Ishan pointed out the operational discussion that is going to happen in Leh tomorrow, and is going to be very important because, 3 years since the time we lost 20 of our soldiers in Galwan. And it was the deadliest clash in the recent years. And, Aishman, a lot has been changed since then. Specifically, we talk about Indian Army. So a lot of infrastructure building is happening, in fact, on our side. And we are fully prepared because it has been mentioned a number of times that how Indian Army is also focusing on not just Atmanirbharta, but building the infrastructure, the connectivity, and, specifically the approach roads. As far as China is concerned, so, condition is still the escalated one in the specific region. And we know that how 18 rounds of commander-level talks have happened. But in specific areas, we still have escalated conditions. In fact, Defense Minister of China, when, came to India, the very issue was taken up by Indian Defense Minister Rajnath Singh. But we know about the intention of China, and we know about, their approach specifically. They have not accepted the fact that they have actually violated several sort of, the agreements between both the nations. And they are, still, in fact, last time we saw in Arunachal Pradesh, in fact, they tried to change the status quo. In fact, their activities, in fact, across the line of actual control, we have seen that how they are constantly building the helipads. They are constantly building the infrastructure, and not just these helipads and infrastructure, but also they are, developing the roads and bridges to the line of actual control. So this particular day is very important, and this operational, this particular meeting where we are going to have the discussions, operational discussions, is going to be very, very important. 3 years since the time we lost our soldiers, but a lot has been changed in the eastern sector now.
Right. Thank you, Akash, for getting us the latest, a high-level meeting on the third anniversary of the Galwan clash. That's all we have to pack it on the show. Thank you.